coming to you live from the Built Ford Talk Studio. Boomer Esiason and Greg Giannotti. It's Boomer and Gio on the Fan. Simulcast across the country on CBS Sports Network. And wherever you are, the free Odyssey app. Good Monday morning. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving and weekend after that. It was filled with football, and of course here in New York, it was not fun football to watch, although you did get more Tommy DeVito fun in a Giants win, but that was just brutal, a brutal football game to sit through between the Patriots and the Giants, two teams who absolutely couldn't score. The over-under, I think, going into the game was 33.5, which is one of the lowest for the entire season in the NFL, and they went way below that. Friday, I mean, it just can't get any worse for the Jets. And I think back to when Rob Saleh was thinking, you know, I'm going to make friends with this Joe Beningo, who is the guy who was always screaming about the Jets and wants everybody fired, so he won't want me fired. And then I see clips over the weekend of, you know, I like this guy, but they got to fire him. That's how bad it has gotten in Jetland. Although we did get a wonderful football game, Boomer, last night between the Bills and the Eagles. We'll get to at some point as well. Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, good morning, Jay. I'm doing well. I have to say, you know, I was a Jet player at one time. You know that.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And some weird things happened when I played. There's no question about it, especially in 1995, 1994. There were some moments where you would say that they were Jet-esque, and the farther I move away from that, you know, the more I kind of laugh at it and think about it in funny terms. It's not funny when you're living through it, for sure. I can tell you that. But there are things that happen during Jet games that you can't explain. You just can't explain. Now, one of those things happened in the first game, and that was Aaron Rodgers going down with the Achilles. That reminded me of when Vinny Testaverde went down with his Achilles in Game 1, back when they were thinking that they had a Super Bowl team with Bill Parcells. Yes. There have been a lot of weird things. I had an Eric Allen interception return against the Philadelphia Eagles against me, which was just, it's still to this day, it gives me shivers, it gives me chills. Now, those things have happened in other games. Like, you've seen guys go down, you've seen interception returns for touchdowns.
Sure.
I've covered the NFL for, I don't know, was it 23 years now? Played in the league for 14 years, played in college for 5 years. Played at East Islip, and congratulations to them on
Long Island Champs.
Yes, congratulations to Sal Ciampi Jr. Unbelievable season. You know, and I played a lot of football in high school. I have never seen a Hail Mary return for a touchdown. I've never seen it. It's just, you cannot. I couldn't put it in words. I was like, I was aghast. That's how I would put it. I was like, what is that? And I just could not believe it. I could not believe what I was witnessing. And I have to tell you, I like Rob Saleh. I think he's a good guy. I love Joe Douglas. I think he's a great guy.
Yeah, we love Joe Douglas.
We do. I mean, like, and I'm like, now they're going through it. They're going through something that they are supposed to change. And they have tried to change. And they thought they were going down the right path with Aaron Rodgers and his friends. And it's just not working out with Aaron Rodgers and his friends. Now, maybe Aaron comes back. He better not come back this year. It'd be idiotic to do so.
I'm telling you, the thing that I've been telling you is going to happen is going to happen.
Okay, all right. So
he's going to go with it, and he's going to say, I'm playing, and I'm going to go.
Let's wait until we get to that. But I have to say, I just could not. I was in a state of, like, utter shock watching this ball be returned.
Yeah, and all these days later, I could still feel the shock that you have. And you think about the previous game, too, the Zach Wilson benching game where he falls over going to the huddle, and then him and Rob Saleh fall to the ground. Those are other Jets things that just don't happen anywhere else. And then you get this fail Mary, or what people are calling it. It was just that's just one of those, you have to laugh. Just like if you look back on your Jets tenure and you laugh. If you're a Jets fan this year, you got to laugh at that play. You have to, because if you don't, you're going to lose your mind. You're going to go nuts. It was going to ruin the rest of your weekend, just like they've ruined your entire football season. And they are now in this weird state where nothing is working. They're in a terrible losing streak. Their offense is one of the worst in football, and they're going to bring everybody back and do it again next year because this whole thing was predicated on one guy, and that one guy...
And his friends.
And his friends.
Yes.
But that one guy is going to want the situation that he signed up for. So that means that Alan Lazard's going to be here. That means that Randall Cobb is going to be here.
I don't know about Randall.
But he loves that's his best friend.
I know, but I think that ship is.
Well, he'll make him a coach.
And by the way, he's got 3. I think he's got 3 receptions. Al. I know Al was.
Randall Cobb.
Randall Cobb. Yeah, he's like, what happened to Randall Cobb? I think he's got 3 receptions. He's played in 7 games and he has 12 target. So
big year.
Part of all of this is the quarterback ineptitude. There's no question about that, and I'm not blaming Tim Boyle for a fail Mary, as you say, because he's just doing his job.
That's not. I did not coin that. That just was the internet.
No, I know
that.
I know that's what's out there. I just I mean, you have. I don't know what to tell you. I'm like 4 days later, I'm still aghast.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't have words to explain it. I wish I could. I wish I could talk my Jet fan friends off the ledge. I can't. I mean, like, then they watch Tommy DeVito. Okay, so the Giants only scored 10 points. All right, it doesn't matter. But at least Tommy DeVito looks like he has some energy. He has some football instincts. Like the Jets quarterback situation is like, you go from a Hall of Famer for 4 effing plays to guys that have no clue to what they're doing on the field. And it's not Tim Boyle's fault. I mean, I'm not going to blame him.
Everybody. There wasn't a single person that thought he was going to go out there and throw 5 touchdown passes.
No, of course not.
He was never supposed to play. He was supposed to be there.
As a friend.
Right, as a friend and someone that was comfortable in the Nate Hackett system. And someone
who was a friend, by the way, as well.
Yeah. So
friend.
That's all. He wasn't supposed to be playing, just like Zach Wilson wasn't supposed to be playing. But this quarterback situation, and I know that no one expected Aaron Rodgers to go out for the year, but this is all Aaron Rodgers' fault and the Jets' fault for giving him everything he wants. They weren't going to have a legitimate backup behind him because they wanted to get Zach moving along in the right direction, all this crap. They also didn't want someone who was going to challenge Aaron Rodgers in any way, just in case things weren't going as well as they expected. They weren't going to bring somebody in with a big personality that was going to take over the room and take over the team when Aaron Rodgers went down. And now this is what you got. You got Zach Wilson, who's done as a Jet. You got Timmy Boyle now playing.
Oh,
everybody's calling him Timmy now.
Jesus God, if I hear Timmy, I mean, your boy Peter Hoffman. I was driving the other day and he was on Timmy Boyle. I'm like, what the F is he talking
I guess
about?
he's Timmy Boyle now. That's the thing. Even I'm pretty sure that Rob Saleh called him Timmy Boyle too.
Really?
I think he said we're going to give Timmy another chance in his press conference.
We're going to give Timmy another chance. Like, was Timmy like 6 years old?
Yeah, I know. Timmy does sound like a little kid.
I mean,
yeah.
Holy
so they're going to roll him out there again. It's just, I
was trying to explain to people that were not watching the game what happened, and they were aghast when I was telling them what happened.
Yeah.
And everybody, it's like when it rains, it pours, and it's pouring negativity towards the Jets like you can't believe. And what's even more amazing is that the Jets and the Giants have the same record.
Well, the same amount of wins, right?
Same amount of wins.
Yeah, same amount of wins. Yep. We have gotten to the point now where they've got the same amount of wins. You got a 4-8 team and a 4-7 team. The Jets being the 4-7 team. Obviously, the Giants have their bye coming up this week.
Yes.
And then they'll have the same amount of games played. But, yeah, I mean, 8 wins with them combined. And with the Giants, this is going to be the discussion. Is winning going to help them in the long run? And I understand that you don't know how these young quarterbacks are going to pan out, but if you're not there in a position to take one of them, you're never going to have an opportunity to have a young, good quarterback maybe be the next Patrick Mahomes or C.J. Stroud or Trevor Lawrence or whatever, and you're going to be stuck with Daniel Jones again. So it's almost like the winning that the Giants have done. They're the only team. You think weird things go on with the Jets, which they do more than any other franchise I think I've ever seen. But with the Giants, the winning they did last year and the winning they did this year is hurting them. Their wins hurt them. Because last year, them going to the playoffs and beating the Vikings gave Daniel Jones $40 million. And now that they're winning, they're taking themselves out of the first 2 or 3 picks of the draft, they're going to have to bring him back.
Like I always tell you, man, the players and the coaches, they want to win because those numbers go on their tombstone. You know that, and I know that. No matter what the fans want, no matter how they want it to look, there's nothing like winning. And for the players, especially for a guy like Tommy DeVito, it is great. It is just an absolute dream come true to be able to say he's got 2 wins in a row. And, you know, it hasn't been pretty, but he's got touchdown passes. He's run for a touchdown. He's got the whole Italian thing going on. He's got the whole signal to his parents up in the stands, and the fans and his parents are going crazy. The whole town is going crazy. I mean, they had the map of where he lives in relation to the stadium and where he went to Don Bosco yesterday during the game. I mean, all of that stuff is priceless.
Yeah, I can't argue with any of that.
Baby,
of course.
that is amazing. I mean, I'm so happy for him. I can't even see straight because guys like him and Tim Boyle and guys like that don't rarely ever get a chance like they're getting right now. But then there are guys like Zach Wilson who get chance after chance after chance after chance, and you want to throw up.
Well, I think Tommy DeVito is making the most of this opportunity with the expectations that people have for him, and he might end up having a nice career as a backup, maybe being a Mike White type of guy who's getting paid, you know, on a $10 million contract and be a backup somewhere. I mean, I think he's making the most of this, and it might even be here. Who knows? Maybe he ends up playing himself into being the backup here for a long time.
Or the starter here. You never know, dude. You never.
Yeah,
I understand the realities of the league, and I understand who Tommy is, and he's growing, and he's winning, and winning is an important part of being a quarterback in this league. And don't turn the ball over. Take the sack. Take the hit. Be the tough guy that you are, and show some gumption, man. Show a little bit of like I got this. You know, as Phil Simms would like to say, show some red ass. And, you know, quite frankly, you got to play the game angry. And watching both Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen yesterday play this football game in the rain down there in Philadelphia, it was an awesome display of toughness from both quarterbacks and how both quarterbacks were willing their team to win a game. And, you know, then when you see Jalen Hurts after the game talking about the game and the way the game, kind of played out, he was, like, disappointed. And he was disappointed because he didn't make the plays that he felt he needed to make in regulation to win the game. And you could see that in his post-game interview. And he's not happy. And that's competitive fire. That's what you want from your quarterback. You want your quarterback to be like the most ferocious competitor on the field. And that's one of the reasons why, and I was telling the guys from EEI this morning, when Tom Brady used to slam the tablet down and scream at a coach or scream at a teammate or yell or do something stupid on the sideline, slam his helmet down, I swear to God he was doing it to get himself back into the game mentally and not to take anything for granted and not to allow a lull to happen in the middle of a game. So it was psychological warfare that he was having with himself. Did you ever see that from Zach Wilson?
No, of course not. No, I mean, you don't see it from Daniel Jones either. We haven't seen it from anybody.
I can see it from Tommy DeVito.
You definitely see some red ass from Tommy DeVito.
I'm telling you, I can see we make fun of it, but there's a thing, and it is like a Jersey tough type of thing, and I'm sure that his dad is the same way. But I'm just like, you got to have emotion to play the position. Now it's got to be measured emotion, but when that emotion is required to get you into the game, you got to have it, and you got to be angry, and you got to be mad. You got to have that chip on your shoulder. And I think that's the way that Josh Allen has played the last 2 weeks under Joe Brady, his new offense coordinator, with a chip on his shoulder. And, you know, they should have won the game yesterday. They played their asses off. But it also goes to show you that, you know, a 10-1 team in the Eagles can be had.
Oh, yeah. I mean, somehow that only loss that they have is to the Jets. But, yes.
That's remarkable.
Amazing, I know. And in that building, too. I mean, I feel like the NFC is just a foregone conclusion, just where that game is going to be. And wherever that game is, that team between the Niners and the Eagles is going to be a slight favorite. It's going to be a slugfest, and one of those two teams is going to the Super Bowl.
You got the 49ers at the Eagles next week.
Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is the game of the week without question. And then you have the Eagles go to Dallas. If the 49ers beat the Eagles and Dallas beats the Eagles, then the Eagles no longer are the number 1 seed, and the Eagles are no longer the leader in the the NFC East. That's how tenuous and just how 2 weeks in an NFL season can change the entire outcome.
Yeah, and that is, the Eagles are a home underdog as we sit here right now in that game.
And you want to know what else has been a huge disappointment this year? Somebody that everybody wanted around here as their quarterback. Derek Carr.
Oh. Well, everybody wanted Derek Carr? I don't think so. Me and you certainly didn't.
Well, I mean, a lot of people did. And I think Rob Saleh wanted him as a quarterback.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, Rob Saleh's just full of great decisions, isn't he?
Well, I don't necessarily know how much decision-making,
but that's even worse. If he's not making the decisions. I'd rather be the guy making the decisions and making bad ones as opposed to someone telling me what to do. I mean, that's about as bad as it gets.
You know what's amazing? You look at the NFC playoff picture and look who's in the hunt.
In the hunt.
Who's in the hunt, Al? Who's in the hunt? Come on.
Giants.
Yeah, they're in the hunt, Al.
Oh, God.
Come on, Al.
In the hunt.
They're in the hunt. Look at that. What was the last time we saw the Giants in the hunt?
Probably, last year was the last time we saw the Giants.
Well,
in the hunt.
maybe in week 2.
Yeah,
but they are now in the hunt category.
I mean, which means what? You're not mathematically eliminated?
It just goes to show you how bizarro this NFL season has been.
Yeah. I mean, they got 3 more games that, they host the Packers, unless they flex that game out. That's going to be a Monday night game. They go to the Saints, who, as you just talked about, are disappointing. Then they go to Philadelphia, who's still going to be fighting at that point, so they'll get murdered there on Christmas. And then they host the Rams on New Year's Eve, which, if that game means nothing, which it probably won't. Thinking about that crowd on New Year's Eve.
Dude, they're in the hunt.
In the hunt.
And by the way, the Rams were in the hunt, too.
This is just the NFC. The bottom half of the NFC is a joke. It's so bad. These in the hunt teams need to just quit. Stop. Enough. Especially when you got the Eagles and the 49ers. No one's beating them. Nobody's beating them.
What about the Cowboys?
Nope. Not happening.
You don't think
Cowboys aren't going on the road and beating either one of those two teams in their building?
Deal. So the Cowboys have the Seahawks this week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're going to murder the Seahawks at home.
Probably.
Then come the Eagles. And they had a really good chance of beating the Eagles the last time they played a couple of weeks back in Philadelphia. And now the Eagles have to go down there. And the Cowboys at home are incredible.
Yeah, they're very good.
They are a freight train at home. So there is a very good chance in 2 weeks we could be talking about the Monday after. I don't know if that I think that Cowboy-Eagle game is a Sunday game. May even be a Sunday night game. But there's a good chance we could be in here that Monday morning talking about how the Cowboys overtook the Eagles. There is, because the Eagles got to play the 49ers now after this Buffalo game.
Yep.
And the 49ers are rolling. They're coming off of that Thursday night beating of Seattle. And got a little extra rest. And, they're going to be thinking about that NFC Championship game last year when Brock Purdy got hurt.